Joining us now on the Peace War Pulse podcast, we've got Southeastern University safety Brandon Higgs in the house. You can check him out on Twitter at B_easy XX. He's going to be talking to us about his college experience and prep for the 2025 draft. Brandon, thanks so much for hopping on. I know we've been texting back and forth about this. I'm excited that we could finally make this
Hmm.
happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
All right, let's get right into this thing, man, because we were talking before the show, right, about how
Mhm.
your college career wasn't just at one specific place, right?
Mhm.
Like you were at Northeast Oklahoma A&M, spent some time at East Carolina, then went to Stony
Mhm.
Brook, and now you're at Southeastern, which I know we've had a couple of your teammates like Joe Bonga and
Mhm.
Jameer Augustine on, but just getting right into this thing. I mean, why were all four schools such good fits for you? What kind of led you to go from one place to another?
So JUCO, it was a fit for me because I didn't qualify out of high school. I was committed to Western Kentucky, so it was just a place for me to shape back and bounce back from my mistakes, right my wrongs, and go continue to live out my dream, which is declaring for the NFL draft and playing football. So at that point, it didn't matter the location as long as I was doing what I wanted to do. I just stuck to it, and that was playing football. So I went out there, did my thing for 2 years, playing corner and safety, being versatile, getting the Division 1 scholarships back D1 to go to East Carolina. And East Carolina was just like a aggressive defense. Just it's all about the ball and being aggressive, and that's kind of my style of play. It's about having like intent. Being aggressive. That's what it's all about. Having purpose with everything and detail. So I went there, got coached up. Apply what I learned to the game from the years to come when I had played at my other schools like Stony Brook and Southeastern University. Stony Brook, it was nice because it gave me an opportunity to my skills. It was a team at the time which was a need, for athletes in general to make the program better. So I went there and played there as well. A lot left because coaching staff and stuff came in. A new coaching staff came in and the program just got so they rebuilt it now this year, even into an even better spot. And yeah, I want to go display my skills one more time to in Southeastern University, where it's closer to home. It's all at that point. Like I said, I just want to play ball. It don't even matter the location as long you can put the ball on the concrete. I'm there. So it was all about just the purpose of having the coaches in that process just teaching me character and player personnel and a lot of things about football.
That is definitely a great answer. Was there a
Mhm.
significant difference in the competition at all four schools that you maybe went ahead and you realized, like, was it different in JUCO versus East Carolina versus Stony Brook and then Southeastern?
Mhm.
Or did you feel like for you, with your mindset and your mentality, that everything kind of blended together and was ultimately just sort of the same?
Of course, man. When it comes to sports, we live in a time. It don't even matter the division or where you go or your size. It's just about who can ball and who can't. So, especially the only difference I would really say is probably the front line. I had experience of playing with 6'8" linemen, huge. But when it comes to skill guys, man, I don't see guys from JUCO, like I say, the JUCO D1 to D2. I don't see them all like prevail and just be great athletes. And like I said, playing in the FCS Bowl, which I just played in this past December, um, I seen a lot of skill guys from a lot of divisions itself, just who could play on the next level, which just like myself. And no, I don't really see a big difference within divisions when it comes to football. Not too many. Mm-mm.
What was that experience like playing in that bowl game, going up against all those prospects from so many different divisions? I mean, was there anything that you feel like surprised you, or was it just like, hey, I'm super confident in myself, so I don't care what these other guys are doing, I'm gonna show out?
It was just honestly, man. I'm prayed up and I stuck to my work, so it was just like I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna stand out because I played in, of course, a lot of divisions, a lot of different levels of football. So when it came to competition and just meeting guys, which is a humbling experience, I was just like, man, I'm just do what I do, play football regardless of who out here. So it wasn't really a surprise. It was just just sticking to what you know.
That definitely makes a lot of sense. I mean, I have to ask you
Mhm,
this. How is the draft prep going? What are you doing every day? You're in the weight room, plyometrics.
mhm,
Maybe even take us inside what your diet is like. Are you working out
mhm.
yourself or with a trainer?
I work out myself. I'm still in school. I finna graduate this April, so yeah, I'm working on myself. But of course, your diet has to change. Drink your water intake. I drink a lot of water, a lot of water. I eat good food. Right now I'm 6'1", 205, 206 safety. When it comes to weight room and plyometrics, I just like to work on a lot of, explosiveness. I don't really work to get really strong because I'm already kind of big on my end as me being me 6'1", 205 safety, but I just work on a lot of explosiveness and when it comes to running the 40, jumping the high vert and just working on a lot of plyometrics. I'm also in the rehab. You got to stay fresh. You got to keep it fresh. You can't like kill yourself because this is a long process to the draft day or pro day. So yeah, I'm just keeping myself fresh, but also putting in work at the end of the day.
That is a really good answer there. I mean, I have to ask you, you play a critical position on the field. A lot of
Mhm,
times, as a safety, you are ultimately the last line of defense. And, me, I'm a safety coach myself personally, right?
mhm,
I think people don't realize like safeties don't necessarily get the praise in the game of
mhm.
football that they probably
Right.
should, but what about the mental side of the game for you? Take us inside all of that. What is it like for you in terms of knowing that, all right, I got to go ahead and this play could be really good. This play could be really bad, which is just football in general. You're not going to win every single play, but you have
Mhm.
to be able to rebound and move forward. I mean, what do you do when you have a real good play and then maybe followed up with not so good play?
For me, it's all about prevailing. You know what I'm saying? We play a spot like it's very critical, like you say in the defensive game, because like last line of defense. You know what I'm saying? It's all up to you when it comes to that run gap or covering this guy. What's it going to do? You the last line, so it's like for me, I think of it like me being a guard to like a gate. So I think I take my job very well. When you do make a mistake, it's all about the next play. And there was a lot of plays in my life. It was actually a play that'll probably show up on my highlights. I hit a guy. I hit him. Guy came downhill, bounced off of him. He ran around and he went up the. He was going up the sideline finna score. He was literally had nobody else finna chase him. I came downhill, hit him, came around, chased him down, forced fumble. Because at the end of the day, during that whole play, I was thinking the process is it's on me. I'm the safety. I got to make this. Anybody else? It's my job. Do so. And my it's not a you can. It's like you have to. You have to. It's no and if so, but it's about like defending the goal line and defending the offense to get in that end zone. Like we gotta make it our accountability to hold them back.
I mean, that definitely makes a lot of sense there.
Mhm,
The safety position is one that
mhm.
there is utilized in so many different ways, but do you have a preferred defensive front that you prefer to play in? And what I mean by that, is you're gonna have your 3-4 defense, you're gonna have a
Mhm.
4-2-5, your 4-3. Sometimes, teams may, I mean, it's not common, you're not gonna find it a lot at the
Yeah.
college or the like FBS level or even
Mhm.
the NFL level, but there's the 3-3 stack as well. Do you have a preferred defensive front that you want to play in, or is it just something where it's like, yeah, I will play whatever structure of defense I have to play in to make plays?
Yeah. For me, I played in a lot of different defensive forms, defensive formations. So for me, I would definitely have to say probably that 4-3 format. Because I always played in the defense with a nickel, and so for me, it's all about coming downhill. It don't matter as long as I get to play a part in helping us win and helping us defense win championships. It don't even matter. I'm just fit me in the scheme. I'm there. Whatever you want me to do. I'll grow wings. You want me to fly? I'll fly. It don't even matter.
That definitely makes sense. But let's talk. You mentioned that
Mhm.
4-3 that it was, right? So obviously the 4-3 is unique in the sense that you can run. I mean, the most common coverage you're running out of there is
Yeah.
probably going to end up being a cover two, right? Which
Yeah.
changes the dynamic of what the safeties are doing because now you're splitting the field in half. Corners
Mhm.
obviously are not, covering an
Yep.
entire portion of the field as well. But do
Mhm.
you have like a preferred coverage that you prefer to play in? Or is
Uh,
it just more so like, yeah, whatever the D coordinator says is what goes?
I mean, I kind of like a read concept with me in the corner, or a linebacker, the will linebacker, having a communication on the 1 and 2, feeding off them two and how they react. If the two run out, what I'm saying, the corner taking them, I'm taking one over top. I like to mix and mangle because my technique, I like to have a little swag with what I do. So I like to move around and be kind of disguised. I don't know. A temper two is good too, because I mean it's splitting the middle of the field. I'm playing my half, they playing their half, and we just holding each other accountable. But I like to get more involved and kind of get it tricky because I know I like to play with a lot of swag and a lot of enthusiasm. So I would say, yeah, that, because it'd be fun. And it always keep your mind going, to keep your mind thinking, keep you aware at all times, like every play. So yeah.
Take us inside the swag and enthusiasm for just a moment. We'll get back to the
Mhm.
football questions, but what does the swag and enthusiasm
That's it.
on the field mean to you? I mean, do you have like certain celebrations that you're gonna do when you make a
Yeah,
big play,
yeah.
or like tell us all about that? Because now I
I
have to
like
know.
I like for me in a play, I like the dog crawl. I like the and my highlights, you'll see it because it's like, man, that's who I am. Like I was embedded to be this dog. Like for a long time I've been playing football, and as a kid, man, I always just realized I had the same mentality to a 23-year-old today. And I'm like, man, I always been a dog, man. I always been a dog. So it's all about just going out there and feeling confident, feeling comfortable. For me, it's a whole nother lifestyle on the field. So you just be who you are, and that you could be who you are. You could write whoever you want to be. You want to be the greatest, you could be the greatest. So for me, it's just like, man, you take that mentality of being the best, so you got to be the best. So I walk around like that. I like the swag of football. I love everything about football from top to bottom.
I mean, that is real good stuff there. So
Hmm.
let's get back to some of the football related questions.
Hmm.
Safeties and corners, you kind of already alluded to this, but
Yeah.
take us inside even more. Like, as a corner, as a safety, you guys have to kind of work in tandem with
Hmm.
certain things. What's the communication process like there in terms of studying receivers, trying to figure out tendencies, and then
Hmm.
when you do get to game day, right, making sure
Hmm.
that you're always on the same page?
It's all of, yeah, and I love that because it's all about relying on the other, trusting in your brother, just going back on your work from what coaches is saying, believing your brother doing your job. And so when you got that bond and trust, between the corner and the safety, or the other safety on the other side, it's all about just knowing who you playing with, knowing who you dealing with at the end of the day. What I'm saying, knowing your opponent. So it's all about, I mean, what we go back on from day one to practice to the game, just knowing who's the scheme, who we got to plan up against, how we gonna play them. Also getting in the game and adjusting to how whatever is going on at the time. So it's all about just knowing your brother, just knowing who you're working with.
That definitely is very interesting.
Hmm.
Me being a secondary guy myself, I cannot preach communication between
Hmm.
safeties enough. But as a safety, you could play pretty much in so many different spots, right? Sometimes
Hmm.
whatever, 10 to 15 yards away from the ball off the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you go ahead and you could be playing up in the box. I mean, do you have a preferred place where you want to line up? Do you want to be back end of the defense? Would you prefer to move up into the box, be the eighth guy, blitz off
Hmm.
the edge? Or is this something where, you are comfortable doing both?
Man, it doesn't even matter to me. Like I say, man, when you turn it on the tape, you see me in the box blitzing. You see me playing 15 yards back. Uh, 1 by 15 alignment on the number two receiver. I could play down 10, playing man, like I could do anything. And like I say, it's just all going back on my tape. Tape don't lie. So I'd rather do whatever. Like you put me in the scheme, I'm there.
That definitely makes sense. And how about, your responsibilities? I mean, how do
Mhm.
they change going from the run game to the pass game? Because we discussed some of the pass game stuff already, but
Mhm.
maybe expand on the run game. How
Okay.
does your role change simply because there's going to be instances where it's like the offense is running the ball, the
Mhm.
linebackers and some of the corners may make the tackle. You're probably not even going to get a chance to get your hands on the ball carrier.
Right. I mean, it's all about playing my part, being a role player. Now that's what I've been doing all my life. I never wanted to, be the top guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just always a team player. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me my job and I'll do it. I don't got to be the star of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make whatever the linebacker or whoever get wrong. I'm gonna make him right every time. So if he's supposed to fill the B gap and he don't fill the B gap, he took A. I'm right there to fill B. So as long as I can be that support and back up my teammates, shoot, that's all I need. I'll be good.
That is some real interesting stuff there. So let's just get into getting to the next level here. You know,
Mhm.
when teams bring you into the building, when you go and you have conversations with these teams, I mean, what are they getting from you as a football player, but then also as a person?
As a football player, man, I would say you getting a dog, man. You getting a dog. Like football is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like right now it's a part of my lifestyle, man. And like it's who I am. You know what I'm saying? The dog mentality to go out on the field and compete every day. You know, go hard every day, even practice. You know, consistency. You'll get a consistent player, genuine, real down to earth. You know, laid back. But he, you know what I'm saying? On the field, he gonna pop it though. He gonna talk a little junk. You know, not too much, but like you know what I'm saying. Just have that confidence within yourself that you can do what you anything you want to do. But as a person, man, you gonna get genuineness, man. I come, you know, everybody got a story. You know, obviously you seeing where I come from, JUCO to making it here talking to you today. You know what I'm saying? I'm very genuine, man. I understand. You gonna get the goofiest. You know what I'm saying? I ain't. Obviously, we play safety, which is a serious position, but you know, I come with a sense of humor. So, as a person, man, you gonna get an all around person, man. I understand from top to bottom. That's because you know that's where I've been. You know, speaking from experience. And so, as an all around person, you getting a great guy.
I will say this, and I'll be fully upfront. I mean, when I started asking you about like the swag and the celebrations, I kind of saw
Mhm,
your face light up, which just shows me how energetic you really
mhm,
are. But let's talk the Bears. I mean, we're a
mhm.
Bears outlet, we're a Bears podcast. I have to know this. What do you know about the city of Chicago? You ever visited here? Have you?
Uh,
What do you know about the Bears fan base and the Bears franchise?
I do not know anything about the Bears. When I think of the Bears, I always think about the Packers rivalry. When I think of the Bears, you know, so I mean, y'all got good corn. Y'all got a good DB course. You know, a good DB course. It's coming along. I know it's cold out there. Get a little pretty chilly. Other than that, I don't know too much. You know, I'm a fan of everybody in the NFL, so it's kind of like because I just like football. So I don't really know too much, but I watch specific teams. But the Bears, I mean, when I think of them, man, I just think of the pack. I just think of the Packers and then Robert.
Hey, that's a pretty good reason, right? I will say though, it is, you know, I mean, I'm sitting here in a hoodie and shorts. It's 60 degrees
Yeah.
out here today, which is
Hmm.
spring weather for us. Just a word of advice: if you do end up signing with the Bears or getting drafted
Hmm.
by the Bears, I mean, as soon as it is 40 degrees, that's when it's t-shirt and shorts weather. Just putting that out there. All right. Um,
Uh,
well, what's the weather where you're at right now? Because it seems like you're sitting in the t-shirt.
oh yes, it's like it's 85 degrees. I'm in a t-shirt and jorts, you know, glass on, so it's cool out here, man. It's palm trees, so but I'm ready to adapt to whatever though. You know, it don't even matter.
That is, you know, real good weather. All right, but I gotta ask you this as well. You know, we talked some about Chicago, but
Hmm.
just NFL in general. You mentioned being a fan of every single team. Is
Hmm.
there a certain player that you looked up to while growing up? Someone that you felt like you wanted to just constantly model your game after?
Uh, back back in his days before injury, I would definitely say Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams was definitely one of my favorite players. He could play that hybrid safety. He could low, high, like just being explosive, attacking. His point of attack on point, making the tackle, making interception, catching plays. So Jamal Adams was definitely one of my favorite.
Anyone else besides Jamal Adams? I mean, or was it
Um,
just him?
Jamal. Uh, I like Jair. I like his swag. I like his swag. Deion Sanders. Come on now. You gotta. Who ain't watching Deion? Sean Taylor. A lot of people relate me to Sean Taylor. You know, just off of them knowing me and then watching his highlights and knowing who I am as a safety. A lot of people be like, yeah, Sean Taylor or Ed Reed. So Ed Reed was another one too. So yeah, I look up to a lot of legends. A lot of legends.
Who I'm curious to notice, right? Who started these Sean Taylor slash Eric Reed comparisons? I mean, was that
Oh,
some friends that
coaches.
did or coaches?
Coaches, players, anybody who was anybody who's there at practices and watch how I do and watch how I work, they all start to comparison easily. It's not too far from them.
So what was that? You got to tell us the story now. What was the reaction when they first were like your reaction when they first were like, "Oh, you play like Sean Taylor"?
Their reaction was probably like, ooh, could they probably see me 9 times out of 10 hit somebody and was like, oof, like. Yeah, he Ed Reed and it was consistent. It was very consistent. Like it was like almost a lot of days at practice. I'm coming downhill, just having muscle memory to the game, prepping for the game. So I come down here every now and then and show my explosiveness and show how step replays and do what I do. So a lot of the consistency of me just being who I am just started the comparison.
That is really interesting stuff. I mean, the biggest advantage of being a bigger safety like yourself
Hmm.
or like a Jamal Adams, because he was jacked coming out of LSU, is just the
Yeah.
fact that it's like you get to come downhill
Hmm.
and you get to really lay the hammer down. I don't.
Hmm.
It's one of those situations where it's like safeties and football players come in all shapes and sizes. But like as
Hmm.
a safety, when you're 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", and you're 200 plus pounds, I mean,
Hmm.
if you have real good change of direction, you can come down and boom. Like it is a definition of laying the hammer down and running downhill. But you clearly play the game with such a physical mindset, right? Take us
Hmm.
inside how that physical mindset kind of went ahead and just developed.
It developed over time, and me just being who I am as a person, but also like the development from coaches. My coaches are, I laid back on going back to when I was back at JUCO. That's grit right there. Within itself, that already explains itself. So you have to become a dog because everybody trying to eat when you in JUCO. So I always just woke up with the mentality of you got to go. You got to be on the go. And so going to East Carolina, I was coached by Coach Harrell, who is the head coach now, and his emphasis was the ball, 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 the ball. And so what you got to do, you got to have physicality, you got to have aggression when you get to the ball, because what I'm saying, at the end of the day, the other side of the ball, they getting coached too as well when it comes to ball security and just doing their job. So I got to do my job even better to have turnover. So in my head, I got to think I got to get the ball back. So I always came with this physical attribute within myself where I got to get them down. It's my job. Even though it's 11 guys out there, what I'm saying, I'm still run to the ball. You see me fly around the field and make plays. So it's just within myself, me being who I am every day. And that's how I take life, go hard at everything you do.
That is a really interesting mindset. I got a couple more for you here, but you played a lot of football, obviously. You have gone
Hmm.
ahead and, played at a handful of different places. Going back to high school, even college, you have a handful of favorite football memories, some
Hmm.
moments that you feel like are always going to go ahead and stick with you no matter what.
Right.
I mean, do you have any that you would want to like take us
Oh,
inside and expand upon?
probably high school. I had a lot of pick six. But I had like huge hits, like hits that should have been on overtime, shit that should have went viral. I mean, I had some huge hits. So definitely, I mean, like I say, from today, is my skills still like apply to this day. I still bring it with me. I still got it in my bag of tricks. So if any team want to sign me, draft me, I'm ready. I'm ready to expand that and show that to the world. So most definitely, I definitely have a lot of memories, but to this day, I'm still carrying them with me.
That is definitely awesome. Final one for you here before we get you out of here. I mean,
Okay.
we've talked so much about the football side of things. What should
Mhm.
people know about you beyond just football, right? What are you into? Do you have any hobbies or interests?
Oh yeah. People should know that I like to be outside. Obviously, you see me sitting in my car right now. I want to go get some sushi. I like to just be adventurous. You know what I'm saying? I'm a span and explore the world because time is valuable, and so I'm just out here to live and view the world and see what the world got to offer. I'm not really an inside kid. I don't play the game too much. I play a little bit. I like to get out and do more. I like to be where my feet are, and that's where like real life is. So I like to travel and do a lot of spontaneous things with this, just like going to the movies or going to this museum or trying this new food place out. So I'm very different when it comes to just getting out and about. Like I like to actually see the view and get involved in the people and do whatever.
That is definitely awesome. As
Mm.
you kind of continue to work here toward realizing your dream, where can people follow you in the world of social media? Maybe plug your Instagram as well as your Twitter.
My Instagram, you can follow me at BEAZY 0.5. My Twitter you already mentioned. And that's all I got. That's all the platforms I have.
This has been fun. Keep in touch. Best of luck to you as you get
Yes,
ready to
sir.
take a massive step in your football journey as well as life. I mean, if there's
Mhm.
anything we can ever do for you here at the Bear Report, please don't hesitate to reach out. You know where to find me. I mean, always happy to help in any way that I can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.